I really am very happy with how he is campaigning. I want you to listen to President Biden and how he's handling the issue with Republicans right now. Check this out. We'll take it on the other side.
Take back the power we just gave Medicare and Medicaid to negotiate, which would raise prices. And they would have a huge giveaway to big pharma and cost taxpayers billions of dollars. And if they say they want to cut the deficit, but their plans actually would explode the deficit, how are they going to make the numbers add up? What are they going to cut? That's the big question. For millions of Americans, health care hangs in the balance. Will they continue to fight to cut the Affordable Care Act and make health insurance more expensive for millions of Americans? Republicans have been trying to undo the Affordable Care Act since it passed 13 years ago. They voted to change or repeal the act, it's a fact, it's on the record, more than 50 times in 4 years that it existed. 50 times. And they made repealing it part of virtually every Republican budget since the law was passed, from the Trump administration budgets to congressional budgets to their budget plans for just this past year. So let's be clear about the consequences. If you get rid of the Affordable Care Act, it would mean that more than 100 million Americans with pre-existing conditions would lose the critical protections they have now. The only reason people with pre-existing conditions who are on a private insurance are able to pay is because they have the Affordable Care Act. But by the way, you cut the Affordable Care Act, millions could lose free preventive care like cancer screenings. Millions could lose basic services like maternity care, which insurers would no longer have to cover. Up to 3 million young adults will lose access to their parents' health insurance, which they're on right now, if the Affordable Care Act goes. They're the facts. Not making any of that, as they used to say, is no longer relevant. But Google it, you'll see. And nearly 40 million Americans would be in danger of losing health coverage completely. That includes millions of low-income Americans who currently get their health insurance through Medicaid, which the Affordable Care Act expanded in 39 states. And it includes millions of middle-class and working-class families who currently are covered by the ACA marketplace. Even if they did manage to keep their health insurance, it would cost them thousands of dollars more per year than it does now. That's just a glimpse of the damage of repealing the Affordable Care Act would do. The MAGA Republicans in Congress do they still want to cut Medicaid? Well, the former Trump budget director, who's now advising them, that is the Republicans in the House, on their fiscal strategy, has a plan to slash over $2 trillion from Medicaid. Well, whether it gets passed, that's the plan, okay? He wants to end Medicaid expansion under the Affordable Care Act, and then additional deep cuts that could lead to nearly 70 million people losing critical services. Most of them are seniors, people with disabilities, and children. Some could lose their health insurance altogether. Millions of seniors and people with disabilities who depend on Medicaid to help pay for their home care, including home health aides, could lose their ability to remain in their homes. And by the way, it saves the government money if they're home and not in a nursing home.
So yeah, I like what he's doing. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.